Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is transport and communication. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, it is important for us to sanitize. Now remember, you can also use soap and water to make sure that your hands are germ-free. Just make sure that when you're washing your hands, you wash them for 30 seconds or more. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we will be talking about problem solving, multiplication, and subtraction. Now for our first exercise for today, let us turn to page 14. On page 14, we are going to be doing some problem-solving sums. Now these can be very exciting to find answers for. We just need to focus. We are going to do number 3 together because it's a long one and I want us to get it correct. Number 3, we're going to read it 3 times. The first time is to understand what the story is all about. Then the second time is to try and get our numbers and what we need to do, whether we are adding or subtracting, or even both. So let us take a look at our passage. It says, 125 passengers boarded an aeroplane in Oranjemund. The plane has to make 2 stops, one in Windhoek and one in Ondangwa, before landing in Rundu. In Windhoek, 39 passengers got off, and in Ondangwa, 46 got off. How many passengers flew to Rundu? So now we know what our story is all about, and we can understand that it is about traveling. We have an airplane and we have passengers. Then we have 3 destinations. But now let us take a look at our passage again and then see which numbers are important to remember, as well as the destinations. So let us take a look at it one more time. 125 passengers boarded an aeroplane in Oranjemund. The plane has to make 2 stops, one in Windhoek and one in Ondangwa, before landing in Rundu. In Windhoek, 39 passengers got off, and in Ondangwa, 46 got off. How many passengers flew to Rundu? Now that we have read it a second time, I'm sure we are able to get our numbers. So let's take a look at the board. Now I want you to follow what has been happening in this problem-solving sum. We are told that the total of people that boarded the plane from Oranjemund was 125. We know that out of those ones, 39 of them got off in Windhoek. And then after that, 46 of them got off in Ondangwa. But now we need to find out how many of them landed in Rundu. So the first thing we have to do or ask ourselves is, are we adding or subtracting? The first part, because this is a step calculation, the first part is to know how many passengers got off from Windhoek and Ondangwa. So we are going to add 39 plus 46. So I'm going to write my sum here. 30, 40, let's start with 30, 46. Let's start with Ondangwa. We are going to say 46 plus 39. Now, we have to add to find out how many got off the plane so that we can now use the total for our next step. So we are going to say 6 plus 9. And let's use our fingers. We already have 9, so we are going to add on 6. So we say, here's our 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So our answer is 15, but 15 is too heavy for us to carry. So we are going to carry on. And how do we carry on, boys and girls? Well, we put our 5 here, and then we go to Mr. Tens and say, Mr. Tens, we have a number that's too heavy for us to carry. Please, can we give you the 1, and then we keep the 5. And Mr. Tens will say, okay, give me the 1. So we are going to say plus 1. Now we add 4 plus 3. Now that one is very easy. You have 4 fingers on one side and 3 on the other. So let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But that's not our real answer, because remember we have plus 1 more, which makes it 8. So we have 8 as our answer. So we write our number 8. So our total of passengers that dropped off in Windhoek and Ondangwa, which is 46 plus 39, will equal 85. So now that we know how many passengers got off from the 2 towns, we are now going to continue with our story. Remember, we are trying to find out how many landed in Rundu from 125. So this time, are we adding or are we subtracting? If you said that we are subtracting, you are clever. Well done. We are subtracting 125. So let us write down 125. And we are subtracting our answer, the one we got before, which is 85. So I'm going to put my 80 and my 5. Remember, we are subtracting, so we must not forget our subtraction sign. So we are now going to start. We'll start at the back and say 5 minus 5. Now 5 minus 5 is very simple, boys and girls, because we have 5 and we take away 5, which means that we have 0. Then we move on to the next one. 2 minus 8. Uh-oh, we cannot do that. So we say it can't. Instead of us doing that, we are now going to ask Mr. Grandpa Hundreds for 10. And we say, Grandpa Hundreds, please can you give us 10? We want to subtract. And Grandpa Hundreds will take a look and say, okay. So Grandpa Hundreds will cancel whatever number he has there and then give 1 to Mr. Tens. But he has to write his new number, which is now 0. Because remember, we have taken away 1 and we are borrowing from Grandpa Hundreds. So our new number, instead of 2, because of the 10 we got, is 12. Now we can say 12 minus 8. So we go to 12 and we are subtracting 8. And this time we can actually use the number line. So we have 12 and we're counting backwards. Are we ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our answer is 4. So we are going to write our answer 4. And because we have taken away the number here, it now says 0 minus nothing. And 0 minus nothing is 0. So instead of writing our 0, we are not going to put anything there, which means that our total is 40 and our sum is complete. So now we know that it was 40 passengers that landed in Rundur. I want you to try and do this one by yourselves. Try and do it again to see if you'll get the correct answer. What we did first was adding the two towns together, and then we subtracted from the total passengers to the ones that were left landing in Rundur. For the rest of the story sums, I want you to read them 3 times. When you read it for the 3rd time, it's to make sure that your answer is correct. So please, boys and girls, take your time, read your questions. If there's something you don't know or understand, it's okay to ask for help. Just make sure that you finish your exercise by yourselves. I will see you soon after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
For our next exercise, boys and girls, let us now turn to page 15. On page 15, we are going to be doing a times table. This means that we're going to write our multiples in a table. Now, how we are going to do this? We are going to try and do number 1, 2, and 3 together. As you can see, we have rows and we have columns. So I'm going to explain what each one means. So let's take a look at the board. Now, as you can see, in the corner, we have our multiple sign, which means sets of sign. This is the one that is going to help us when we are doing our times table. Now, how we use this one, we say 1 times 1. Then our answer we put in the missing box. So we already know what one set of 1 is. And one set of 1 equals 1. So we're going to put our 1. Let me use a different color so that you can see what is going on. So we have our 1. And then we move on to still doing 1. So we know that 1 set of 2 equals 2. Let's move on. 1 set of 3 equals 3. Let's move on. 1 set of 4 equals 4. But now we need to find out what 1 set of 5 equals. So if we draw one set, and then inside there is 5 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After counting what is in all the sets, we should get our answer. And our answer here from looking at the board is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know that 1 set of 5 equals 5. Then we move on to the last one, which says 1 set of 10 equals 10. Now I want us to say it out loud together so that we understand what we are doing. So if we are done with that one, we move on to the next one. And the next one in this case is 2. So we're going to be doing 2 sets, and then inside the sets, that's what we're going to put. So the first one says 2 sets of 1, which is 2. Let's check if the answer is correct. So first we are going to be drawing 2 sets. 1, 2. And inside each set, we are going to have one thing. So there's 1 here and 1 here. So that now says 2 sets of 1. We need to find out how many there are by counting what is in both sets and adding them together. So we say 1, 2. So our answer is 2, which is correct. So 2 sets of 1 equals 2. Now let's move on and find out what the others say. We are going to now continue by saying 2 sets of 2. Let me say it again, and I want you to follow with your finger. 2 sets of 2 equals. So we are going to draw how many sets? 2. 1, 2. And then we are asked the sets of. How many? 2. So each set will have 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And we need to find out how many or how much they are all together. So let us count what is in all the sets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our answer is 4, which means 2 sets of 2 equals 4. So we are going to write our answer 4. Now we are going to say the next one, just to check if it is correct. We're going to put 2 sets of 3 equals 6. We want to find out if it is correct. So 2 sets of 3 equals 6. So the first thing we're going to draw is 2 sets. 1, 2. And in each set, there are how many things? 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we want to find out how many things there are all together. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that is correct. So 2 sets of 3 equals 6. So our answer here is correct. Now let's move on to the next one, which says 2 sets of 4. So at this time, instead of having 3 things in our sets, we are going to put 4 things. So let us put 4. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we need to find the answer, because remember we're doing 2 sets of 4. Let's see if it is going to be correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they are 8, which means our answer here is 8. Let's now move on to 2 sets of 5. Now remember, we already have our 2 sets, so all we need to do is put 5 things in each of the sets. So we're going to start by putting 5 in the first set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we need to put 5 in the next set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after putting 5 in each set, we now need to count them all together. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our answer, boys and girls, is 10. Now we know that 2 sets of 5 equals 10. Then the last one I would like you to try and do by yourself. Let's now move on to the 3s. So we're going to erase our first part so that we can make sure that nothing is confused with the 2s. And then it says 3 sets of 1 equals 3. So we're going to double check that answer. The first thing we do is draw the sets. So we are going to draw 1, 2, 3 sets. And we are told that in each set we have 1. So we are going to draw 1, 1, 1. So each set has 1. And if we add what is in the sets together, if we put them all together, we will have 1, 2, 3. So our answer is 3, which means that it is correct. Now let us try the next one. So first we need to erase what is in each set and our last answer. And we go and say, let's say it together now, 3 sets of 2 equals. So we are going to have 2 now in each set. So each set is ready. We already have our 3 sets. And then in each set, we're going to put 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to count them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer is 6, which means that 3 sets of 2 equals 6. Now let's move on to the next one. But before we do, we need to erase what is in the sets so that we don't get confused and we are ready for the next one to be worked out. So our sets this time are 3 like before, and we are now saying 3 sets of 4 equals. Let's do 3 sets of 3 just to make sure that our answer is correct. So we are going to do 3 sets of 3. And here we have the answer 9. So we need to find out. Now it's saying that we must put 3 things in each set. So let us go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now after putting 3 things in each set, we need to count them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our answer, boys and girls, is 9, which is the same answer we found here. So that means it's correct. Now let's move on. We are going to now try and find the next one. Make sure that your sets are clear before you move on to the next one, so that we don't get a wrong answer. Now we are saying 3 sets of 4 equals. So we have our 3 sets already, and this time we are putting 4 things in each of the sets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have put 4 things in each of the sets. And now we add them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our answer here is 12, which means that 3 sets of 4 equals 12. Now this is going to take you some time, so I'd like you to please be patient. I want you to really draw your sets somewhere else and take your time. It's okay so long you get the answer correct. Remember, on this side we are going to be drawing the sets that we see. Like the 3 here, we have our 3 sets. And then across on top, we are going to be drawing how many things need to be in the set. Like here, we said 4 in each set. After doing that, count everything all together to get your answer to fill in the missing spaces. Have lots of fun. If you get lost, you can always start again and try again. I will see you after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
For our last exercise, boys and girls, we are going to have so much fun. Let's now do page 16. For page 16, we are going to be doing simple subtraction of 2-digit numbers. Now this one is very fun because we already know how to do this one. So it's about doing it the right way. Let us take a look at the board. Now on the board, I have the first 2 and the last one. So we're going to do those 3 together. Let's do number 1 together. Number 1, we have 54 minus 31. Now we always start with our units. So we say 4 minus 1. And what is 4 minus 1, boys and girls? Well, if you use your fingers, 4 minus 1 becomes 3. So we are going to put 3. After that, we're going to move to our tens and say 5 minus 3. If we have 5 and we take away 3, that means our answer is 2. So our total is 23. Our sum now says 54 minus 31 equals 23. Let's now do the next one. The next one says 63 minus 10. Now we always start with our units. So we say 3 minus 0, which means I have 3 and I take away 0. So our answer after taking away 0 is 3. So we write our 3 and then we move on to our tens. Our tens say 6 minus 1. I have 6 beautiful things and I take away 1. How many am I left with? Yes, we have 5. And now our sum is complete. It now says 63 minus 10 equals 53. Now let's take a look at the last one. The last one in your book says 74 minus 30. So we are always starting, boys and girls, with the unit. And if we start with the unit, that means it says 4 minus 0. And 4 take away 0 is 4. So we're going to put our answer here. Please, boys and girls, make sure that your answer is in line with all the other numbers. Because we're doing units, that means all our units need to be in the same line. And when we are doing our tens as well, our answer should also be in the same line. Let's now continue. We have 7 take away 3. So I have 7 lovely things and then I take away 3. 1, 2, 3. So our answer becomes, boys and girls, 4. Now our sum is complete. So it now says 74 minus 30 equals 44. I'm going to leave you to do the rest by yourselves. Remember to start with the units, end with the tens, and to put everything in line. I will see you soon after our short advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
We have now come to the end of our lesson and I hope that you had fun. Remember, if anything is too difficult or you can't remember, you can always ask for help. Just make sure that you finish the exercises by yourself. Now that we are done, it is important for us to sanitize at the end. Remember, when we sanitize after lessons, we're trying to make sure that whoever we see afterwards, we are staying safe from them and to protect them as well. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. I wonder though, I want to go outside and play with my friend. Zashi said he would be here just now, but I'm not sure where he is. Oh, hello Zashi, how are you? So, from Sashi and I, we would like to say thank you for joining us today and goodbye!
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.